Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you find yourself in the world. Welcome to Daring to Differ with Annacky. It's a podcast that was created mainly to help us embrace our lives, embrace the fact that we are unique and we are gifted, and we should live life according to our own intentions and our own expectations and not those of society. So, welcome to the podcast. I'm so happy that you have tuned in again. This will be my fourth episode. So, we are still new in the streets of podcasting, but I'm just happy that you are making time to watch. And I also then ask you to please just subscribe. Do like also. If there's something that I want to leave with you guys today, is to uh, give yourself grace. We live in a world where there's a lot that is happening, especially to us young people. We're in a landscape where, if you look in Africa, a lot of youth are struggling with finding jobs. You know, there is a high unemployment rate in most countries, in most African countries, and even just outside the African continent, you notice that a lot of people are struggling. You know, I want you to leave this episode at least noticing that you are doing the best and you should just appreciate yourself from that angle. The fact that you are alive today, the fact that you have submitted that CV, the fact that you have read that book, the fact that you have showed up at that workplace, you have given that presentation while you have a shaky voice. You are doing your best, and doing our best, that is all that matters. And we don't need to be also hard on ourselves to always aim for the best, but let's just embrace the presence. Whatever you are doing, however you are doing, that is all that matters. You know, the progress that you are making, that is all that matters. And progress, even if you've only moved one step, that is still progress. And if you are resting, if you are giving yourself time to rest, then appreciate that moment. To be honest, it's just a lot that is happening. And there's also a lot that we are seeing. We are seeing people that are showing off their successes, and they are telling us how things are going well in their lives, which is a good thing. We always want people to do good, but if you happen to be on the other side of things, not just working out according to what you had envisioned for the year, it shouldn't be the end, guys. Life is just a game, and we all ought to design how we want to play the game. And sometimes the game will not be on your side, and sometimes things will just not work out, and that is normal. That is normal. Your time will come. Let us learn to give ourselves grace. Let us learn to be in harmony with ourselves. There's a lot of critique that comes from the external sometimes. People will always talk, but be your own best friend, be your own cheerleader, be your own safe space. Your thoughts. Are you always criticizing yourself, or are you in harmony with yourself? I'm gifted that in most cases, I'm always at peace with Annacky. I'm always at peace with myself. Even for when I make the most biggest blunders that one would consider as the most biggest blunders. For me, I don't see them. For me, these are just trials in my life. It's just me trying out new things, and sometimes they might not meet society's expectations and they'll be recognized as a blunder or blunders. But for me, it's just a trial. And the more trials I take, the more I get to learn what is Annacky able to do, and what is that Annacky that she's not able to do. Meaning, what are my strengths and what are my weaknesses? I'm privy to my weaknesses, to be honest. And because I know my weaknesses, I'm able to fill those gaps. I'm able to remain open. I'm able to remain open for feedback. I'm able to remain open for adjusting and for rebuilding and for pivoting, because I know I'm just not a full, beautiful package which does not have gaps that would need to be filled. So I've created room for that. I am at peace with myself. Are you at peace with yourself? Or are you the number one to critique yourself? So imagine if you are criticizing yourself every time you mess up, for instance. And already on top of that, these societies critics. That is like double criticism that you're getting. Will you be at peace? You won't be at peace. But if there is love, if you have love for yourself, external criticism would just be information, if not noise. It will just be clutter. This is a game that we are living, our lives. It has a start and an end. It's like a project, a start and an end. The start is when you were born. The end is when you leave this world or this earth. How do you want to be remembered? For me, I want to be remembered as someone who have lived her life holistically to the max. And I'm already living it. I'm already doing things that I have decided to work on. You know, are you at peace with yourself? There's so many social problems that are facing us young people. So many social problems. But for us to be strong enough to face these challenges is only if we're operating from a place of love. From when we know that we are enough, we'll then be able, it's like we are armed to go out there and fight the battle. Because this battle is external and the battle should not be internal. Be your own cheerleader. Be your own safe place. For when you are at peace with yourself, for when you are content with who you are, there's so much room to create, to dream. There's so much room to just appreciate life and be grateful. There's so much room to even dream about things that are very far from you, because you have that space in your mind. You cannot create from a place of sadness or anger or remorse. You can only create from a place or a space of peace. And that is what you should strive for. Most of the times, I do intentionally try to keep peace in my mind. Of course, life will happen. But at least most of my days, I want to be at peace with myself. Then only will I have the energy and the confidence to show up for myself and for others. Take this time, reflect, ask yourself, are you your best friend? That's why for me, you notice that I think I did it in one of the episodes. I was talking and mentioning my name, saying that I am loving Annacky. I do respect Annacky. I speak to myself like I'm speaking to another person. And the more I've done it, my mind have now learned that I am the main character of my life and I need to protect myself. I need to be kind to myself. Just the same way as in our relationships, be it platonic or romantic. With your friends, you are always kind to them. You are always showing up for them. Are you reciprocating the same kindness to yourself? Are you showing up for yourself just the same way as you do it for your spouse, for your friend, to colleagues? Are you doing the same? to yourself or for yourself. Introspect. Life is just a game. It's not deep, guys. We are just here to show up. But one day, it will be the end of us. But do you want to live a life where you are just participating? Or do you rather want to live a life where you know that you were the one driving and you're in charge of your life? Of course, with the support of the Lord. Take time, appreciate the things that you are doing currently. That's why for me, when I hear people say things like, who is doing better than me, or I'm supposed to be where in my life, I'm supposed to be married this time, I'm supposed to have children, I need to have children at this age, at least I need to have all these qualifications by now because all my peers, they have this. I always wonder, what do you mean? Can you tell me a match or a game where all players have the same traits or do the same way of life? Never. We all have our individual traits. We all have our individual capabilities. Therefore, our lives will never be the same. Neither our accomplishments will happen at the same time. It's impossible. It's impossible. Because we are all unique. We are all unique. If you look at your fingerprints, your fingerprints are unique. They only belong to you. They only belong to you. Nobody in this world has the same fingerprint as yours. Nobody. So meaning your life is unique. So do you. I'm just looking at the time because I'm recording during my lunch hour. And I need to be at the office on time. But that is the beauty of life, for when you know that there are no limitations. Life, you do it according to how you want it to be. I decided I want to record during this time. But you notice that my energy is settled because there's no confusion in my mind of this is not normal. For me, when people tell me that I do weird or interesting stuff, it leaves me sometimes perplexed because I'm just like, what does that mean? Isn't that how life is supposed to be? Are we not supposed to live a life where everybody does the things, or everybody does things the way they feel is right to them? That's why for me, I really do not support things like, even if I'm hosting an event, don't come and tell me that people do it this way. This is how it's done. Because I'll always question you, based or according to who? Based on what? You're literally telling me I should take someone's vision and apply it onto my event. While I have a functioning brain, I have a brain or a mind that can visualize, that can imagine. Can you give me that opportunity to take whatever that I'm imagining and put it on paper or execute it in a form of an event? Of course, there are principles. Principles are principles. Morals are morals. These are just basics that needs to be followed in a society or in society. But most of the things, how I'm living my life, as long as I am not infringing on anyone's rights, I feel like it's a safe space to do me, to do what Annacky wants. Can you dare yourself today and say that today is the day that I'll be doing the things that I've always wanted to do. Today is the day that I will do Maria, I will do Zacharias, I will do Mweshi, I will do whatever your name is. Dare yourself. Because life, as I said, we are all just doing it. There's no perfect way of doing it. And there's There is no other way out which is not ideal. The only way that is not ideal is if you are causing harm to another person or to a system, to whatever. But everything else, the playground is big and it's enough for all of us. How you want to live your life is up to you. It's not really dependent on society, determined by anybody, but rather determined on what you think is right. Take time, reflect. For me, if I live tomorrow, I know I've lived a very beautiful life. I've lived a life where I've always done things that Annacky will appreciate or Annacky wants to do. In my mind, and this is maybe also another takeaway that you need, it's also another, and this is also another takeaway. In my mind, I hardly have thoughts like, what will people say if I do this? What will people say if I pursue this career? What will people say if I give this episode? What will people say? Does it meet the podcasting requirements? Which requirements? Today I can call it a podcast. Tomorrow I'll call it a YouTube channel for vlogging because it's my life. I can change my mind anytime. That's why for me, if you want to be my friend, or at least with my friends, or my circle rather, I always pray that they don't hold me accountable to things I said I was going to do. Because I can change my time anytime. I can change my mind anytime. Because I'm evolving. And that is what life is all about. For us to evolve, for us to do things differently. I can always change my mind. You can always change your mind. Don't hold on. I told people that I'm going to do this. Now I'm doing it differently. I'm not doing a different course. What will people say? No, you changed courses because you realize that actually this is not relevant anymore. And it doesn't speak to me. I cannot leave this work environment because of A, B, C, and D. Why not? You are not a tree. You are allowed to move. That is just what life is. The people whom we see doing bigger things or different things, these are people that have allowed themselves to change, to evolve, to change their minds, to do things differently. They don't hold onto opinions. They don't hold onto this whatsoever convictions that we have. No, they remain fluid or liquid. Have you ever seen water that is running in the river and this water is rotten? And where you find algae and all this greenery or this green layer on this water while the river is running? Never. You'll never see it. But have you seen a layer, this green layer in standing water? Standing water will always rot because there is no movement. But anything that is liquid and it's moving, it will always be fresh. So avoid finding yourself stagnant. Move. That's why even for when on a day when you are feeling stressed, just take a walk. Eventually, your mind will start clearing up. Your thoughts will start becoming lighter. Always make progress. That is just how life works. Of course, as I said, there are so many social problems in this world. People don't have jobs. People are really struggling in this world, specifically in Namibia. For me, my heart is always at my fellow young people. There are no jobs. And that is emotionally draining. But if there's something that I want to leave you with today, take that one step. Take that one step. Move. If you want to submit your CVs, submit your CVs. Teach your brain that with every action, I'll anticipate to get a result. And the more action you take or actions you take, the more results you get. That is just how life is. Things happen only to those that take action. And be kind to yourself. You can only take action if you're operating from a healthy mindset, from a healthy environment with yourself. That's the only time you'll be able to take action. That's the only time you'll be able to breathe. So let me close up this section or this episode with a request to you to be kind to yourself, to give yourself grace, and everything else will fall in place. Trust me, it will fall in place. Thank you for taking time to watch this episode or to listen. This is Daring to Differ with Annacky.